So today we're going to be talking about E3 2021. It's June now. This thing is damn near 2 weeks away. Summer Game Fest is a thing as well. There's sort of a lot of stuff happening in June that's kind of a big deal. Or I'm starting to feel like it's becoming a big deal. Nintendo possibly has new hardware. There's going to be a big direct, I'm assuming. Bethesda and Microsoft have a joint press conference. Never in my life would I have expected that. But at the same time, there's all this excitement and all this hype stuff, but I kind of feel weird about it. Maybe because there hasn't been an E3 in over 2 years, and that's sort of... I'm starting to feel that. Like, I'm starting to feel like, we're going kind of back to normal, I guess. I don't really know. I don't really know what to expect from the Summer Game Fest SummerSlam / Weezer concert thing. I don't know what to expect from the Bethesda Xbox press conference. I don't know what those shows entail. I don't even really know what E3 even is. Like, is the Bethesda Xbox thing, that's a part of E3? Or is that just their own thing on the side? I don't really know. Like, E3 is an online show, but you need media passes still to listen to Zoom calls. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. We're in this kind of weird space right now of hype and excitement, but at the same time trepidation and sort of, for me at least, anxiety, because, I want to talk about this stuff. I want to react to these things. I want to watch these things and experience these things, but I don't know where my expectations need to be, and it's kind of it's fun. It's a fun anxiety, if that makes sense. So as I mentioned, June 10th is Summer Game Fest, the kickoff show. I think that's what it's called. Weezer's gonna be there. Yeah. Jeff Keighley, he has his, this is Key 3. This is sort of his dream. This is what he's been kind of working up to. The Game Awards already kind of took that place last year, took, E3's place in a way. They did have Summer Game Fest last year, but this year it's a little more different. He's promising that it's going to be a little more focused. It's one sort of singular show with big announcements and then smaller things that sort of fall under the SGF umbrella. Really weird messaging, in my opinion. People will legit ask Jeff Keighley on Twitter, what is Summer Game Fest? And he will explain it in a weird way that I don't really understand. But as far as I know, this kickoff show is the thing that is the big deal. That's the thing that we're supposed to be looking forward to. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. There's some big publishers tied to this thing. Bandai Namco's going to be there. Capcom's going to be there. PlayStation is going to be there. Or they're partners. I don't know if that means like, they helped fund the show, or if that means they're going to have games being shown off there. I don't know. Again, there's a lot of mystery about this sort of thing, but Jeff Keighley has been kind of owning this market for the last couple of years, I would say. Last year's Game Awards I thought was a fantastic show. Not even in terms of the awards, but just the sort of structure and production value and everything there. Even though it was like a very limited, pandemic era type of show, I thought it worked fantastically. And the Gamescom opening night thing that he did last year, I thought was handled quite well. And I'm excited for this show just on sort of Jeff Keighley's merits, if that makes sense. I'm excited to see how much he's developed. Sort of his production side of things, him and his team. Obviously, it's not just this dude doing everything, but I'm sure it's going to be entertaining. But I don't know what is there. What are the games? What are we going to be seeing? Where do my expectations need to be? Now, if you've watched Jeff Keighley's previous stuff before, usually it's not like massive things. You're not going to get Elden Ring here. You're not going to get Final Fantasy 16 or Breath of the Wild 2 here. It's usually indies, a lot of indie stuff, a lot of great indie stuff, mind you, but a lot of, smaller, double A games, if that makes sense. Stuff that you can be excited about, stuff that I'm going to play and stream and enjoy. However, I just don't know. I think a lot of people are expecting Elden Ring. I think a lot of people are expecting those things, and I don't know if that's, I don't know if you're in the right mindset, brother. I really don't. I don't know what's going to happen there, and that's what sort of makes it exciting, So that sort of kicks off everything, and then E3 begins on the 12th. Again, I don't know what E3 is. I really don't. I've looked on the website. I still don't really know. Is that like a sort of umbrellaing thing? Is that like other publishers are going to fall under a banner with their own sort of press conferences? Is the Bethesda Xbox thing, is that a press conference? Is it just going to be like a digital show, like people talking on Zoom still? Or are we going to see Todd Howard on stage? I don't think so. Absolutely not. That's not going to happen. LA is still horrible right now. I don't think that there's anything involving a convention center, but I don't know what the structure of that is, if that makes sense. But again, I am excited. I think that there is a lot to show in terms of what Microsoft has been sort of building up to with all of these acquisitions. And Bethesda is a part of those big acquisitions. They were acquired last year, a multi-billion-dollar deal. And I think that we're going to see, some fruits of Microsoft's labor there. I think we're going to see, what they have in store. Machine Games, they're working on an Indiana Jones video game. They teased it earlier this year, January, February, around that time. Cool. It was a CG teaser, but I mean, Machine Games I'm a big fan of. I love the Wolfenstein series. I'm curious how they can make Indiana Jones more interesting. I don't really know what that's about, but it's pretty much confirmed at this point that Starfield is exclusive to Xbox. That's like borderline. It is basically, that's a fact now. But I wonder if, is it time? Is it time to show off Starfield? I don't believe Starfield is coming out this year. I just can't. I just don't think it's going to happen. I'm not even sure if it's coming out next year, to be real with you, but maybe it is time to see this game that honestly Bethesda themselves, that Todd Howard himself has sort of tainted with hype, like literally saying that this is going to be the best video game ever. It's going to be this big ambitious project. Look forward to it, please, and applaud me. Yeah, I think it is time. I think it is time to see that video game. Is it a video game? What the hell is that game? I don't know. And that's sort of one of my most anticipated things actually to see is sort of the game itself and the fallout of it. No pun intended regarding Bethesda, but sort of the reaction to it all, the memes, everything like that. That's always the best part of a Bethesda type show. But I'm curious, is it 50-50? Bethesda has a ton of games in the works right now. There's Deathloop. I can't even remember the Samurai Ghostwire Tokyo. That one. That's a video game that exists. There is some cool stuff to be shown, but I'm also looking forward to seeing more Halo Infinite. I think they're going to. It's time to boost it. It's time to put that game into high gear and really show off what that game can do, and hopefully not become an internet joke. Hopefully it's actually something worth talking about and being hyped about. Not that, I didn't even think that the previous demo was terrible, but it was embarrassing seeing the memes. It was. Nintendo has not announced anything officially. We don't really know what they're doing. I'm assuming that they're going to have something on Tuesday. They're always kind of hold that space. I'm sure it's going to fall in line on sort of the last day of E3 or the day before. I'm assuming it's going to be a direct. I'm assuming a Smash character is going to be announced, and I'm fingers crossed, I would say almost praying that Breath of the Wild 2 shows up. I've been waiting for this, not even to play the video game, just to see what the hell it is. Is this a true sequel? Is this a sort of pseudo sequel? Is it legit Breath of the Wild 2? Is this a numerical sequel for the first time ever, I believe, in Zelda history? Aside from Zelda 2. So I don't really know what that's about, and I'm excited to hopefully get more details on that game. I'm kind of curious what Nintendo's cooking up in terms of this hardware thing. There's a new Switch apparently coming out this year. It's replacing the old model, so it makes me think that it's not a significant leap, but at the same time, all of the leaks and weird insiders, they're making it sound like it's a big deal. I don't really know what the hell that Switch is. Apparently we're seeing that in before E3. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be like Nintendo finally touting their stuff. Here's Metroid Prime 4. 4K 60 frames per second on the Super Nintendo. I don't know if this is Nintendo finally entering that. I doubt it. Absolutely I doubt it, but it's definitely I'm curious. I'm very curious on what sort of Nintendo's strategy is here, and what games are coming out this fall. Is it just Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond or whatever, or is there something bigger? Is Breath of the Wild possibly coming out this year? There's no way Metroid Prime 4 is coming out this year. There's just no damn way. I can't believe it. And also Smash. It's always fun to see a new Smash character. I don't even care who it is. It could be anybody. It could be a Fuzzy, and I would still be super excited about it. It could be a side character in Kid Icarus, and I would be like, good job, Sakurai. That's just kind of the way it is now. After Cloud, to be real, but after Sephiroth, I was like, I'm good. I'm good, Sakurai. Do whatever you want. So I am very much looking forward to seeing who they implement in this video game next. God, that game. Then there's Ubisoft Forward. Ubisoft is a weird company right now. Like, I don't know if I should be rooting for them. I don't know if I should not be playing their video games and not caring about their video games. I don't know. I don't care. Like, I don't really care about Far Cry or anything Assassin's Creed. The one thing that would pique my interest is possibly seeing some Beyond Good and Evil 2. I think that game has a subtitle. I can't remember. It has been a very long time since we've seen Beyond Good and Evil, and every time that I've seen it, it's this huge, grandiose, spectacular CG trailer, and then like maybe a day later we get some horrible pre-alpha looking stuff where it's like, it's rough. It is some rough stuff. Like the gameplay that we have seen of Beyond Good and Evil, I wouldn't even call it gameplay. I don't even know. I don't even know if that's a video game anymore. But maybe. You know, maybe it's time. It's next gen. You know, it's PS5. It's Xbox Series X. Maybe we can finally, you know, they can finally show something. Maybe. But do I still care? I don't know. Ubisoft is weird right now. I don't know. EA's got something in July, so I'm not even going to talk about that. And then there's a lot of, you know, other third-party stuff like Square Enix. You know, are they going to be at Summer Game Fest? Are we seeing that new Final Fantasy Origins Dark Souls game that Ninja Theory or Team Ninja, I can't even remember. I always get them mixed up. One of them's owned by Xbox. I know that. Are we going to see that game? I feel like we kind of have to. The rumors are so strong. There's always these crazy rumors around E3, and that's sort of what's making me excited again, you know, is hearing this wild shit. I remember a couple of years ago there was the Star Fox racing game, Star Fox Grand Prix or whatever that Retro was working on or something, and like it was mind-boggling, and then it never came into fruition. I don't even think that was a game, or maybe it was. Maybe we see it at this E3. Who knows? But I love this like weird sort of space we're in right now, where you just hear these wild things like a Final Fantasy Origins, and it's like, holy shit, that could be a real game that we see in 2 weeks. That's crazy. Sega. I don't know if we see more Sonic stuff. I mean, we had the Sonic concert thing, you know, that's going to be at Summer Game Fest, but is there more? Like, are we going to see more of the Sonic 2022 game, Sonic Rangers, apparently? Like, is that going to be a real thing at Summer Game? Is this a teaser for the teaser? Is that going to be? I don't know. I really don't. Do I care? Possibly. So as you can see, I'm a jumbled mess right now. I'm a sort of just in a ball of excitement. I'm looking forward to video games. I'm looking forward to playing video games. I'm excited to see games that are not even announced yet that are coming out this year, whether that's from Bethesda or Capcom or PlayStation. PlayStation, who knows what they got up their sleeve. Are we seeing God of War Ragnarok this summer? Are we going to have a State of Play slip in there? Is that going to be a real thing? Like, I don't really know. Sony's always been a little weird about E3, you know, especially the last couple of years. They've basically completely were done with E3. So I'm curious if they want to, you know, kind of dip their toes in that water and just have a little weird God of War State of Play or something along those. I don't know. Ratchet and Clank and Intergrade come out on like the same day right before E3. Do they even need to be there? Like after every press conference, I'm going to go back and play those games. So I don't know. They're in a weird space too, where there's nothing really coming out in the fall. Everyone's assuming it's Horizon Forbidden West, but they said God of War is coming out this year. They have not, you know, deconfirmed that. That's still apparently the plan, so who knows? So yeah, as I mentioned, I'm a jumbled mess. I have no clue what's going on. I'm lost right now, but I'm ready for this ride. I'm ready to just hop in the E3 hype train and just, well, let's go. You know, I'm ready to watch these things. Comment below. Give me your thoughts on the hype stuff. Give me your thoughts on what's going on. What are you looking forward to? Are we seeing that new Final Fantasy game? Is 16 going to show up? Remake Part 2? Is that a possibility? Could that be a real thing? Legitimately, no. No, it cannot. But do you think it is? Comment below. Let me know. Nintendo, all that stuff. Let's talk about it. I will, of course, as always, I have to mention this. I, of course, will be reacting to every single... we'll see. I'll be reacting to at least the big... I know there's PC Game Show and Guerrilla Games, and I know there's the Wholesome Game Fest or something. I don't even know. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. during that time, so I possibly will not have the time to do everything, but of course I will be reacting to that with my good friend Matthew. It's always happened on this channel. If you're new to this channel, hit the sub button, follow me on Twitch, that's where all the reactions going to happen live, and then yeah, we're going to upload them here, edit them down, and make it look pretty for you guys. So yeah, that's basically it from me. I don't really have anything else to say. E3 is just, I know I'm forgetting about something huge. I know there's like this thing in the corner that's like, I'm gonna be at E3, just you wait. Like, I know there's that in the back of my head right now, and as soon as I finish editing the video, I'm gonna be like, shit, I should have mentioned that. But that's what the comments are for. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed anything that I had to talk about today. Again, hit me up on Twitch, and until next time, party on.